Hey there, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to the Nook. For today, I'm offering a yoga practice for people that don't love to be on their hands in yoga. Whatever the reason, if it's wrist pain, hand pain, forearm pain, just shoulder stiffness, this is the workout for you. We're gonna start at the top of our space. We will be on our hands minimally. It's not a total avoidance of being on them. But if it feels comfortable, put your big toes to touch, little space between your heels, and we'll inhale up. Arms come overhead. Exhale, elbows come back. No need to back bend, just pulling your elbows as far as you can behind your body. Inhale, lean to the right. Inhale, center, lean to the left. Inhale, center, and swan dive over straight-ish legs. Just starting to warm up, so I'm gonna keep a bend in my knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold, let your head go. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, and slowly roll up to stand. We're gonna do one more half sun A like that. Inhale brings you up. Exhale, goal post your arms, elbows come behind. Inhale, tall. Exhale, lean right. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean left. Inhale, center. Swan dive it over. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. This time, reverse that swan dive all the way up and lean your weight into your heels as we sit for our first chair. So hands can be at heart center if you're dealing with some shoulder stiffness. Hands can be at your hips. Or for our fullest expression, reach them up, gaze up, maybe where your ceiling meets your wall. And sink your hips as low as you can just for this moment. Deep breath in, long exhale out. We're just gonna hold for 3, 2, stand up on 1. Stand up, bring your hands to heart center, and connect with an Ujjayi breath. That's our breath that goes in through our nose and out through our nose, if it works for your body today, just to start to build a little heat. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Inhale, taller. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Final time here. Inhale, chair. Now, from this chair, lean your weight into your left leg, lift up onto your big toe of your right foot, and step it back to warrior 1. So we're on railroad tracks, our front foot facing forward, our back leg turned out at an angle. Sink your hips low, set at the base first, pulling that left hip back, right hip forward, and then arms come up. Now, this is our first time here. We're setting up through this foundation. Lean in towards the back edge of this back foot. Make sure you can see your big toe, maybe even your first 2 toes. And if not, send your knee a little bit further to the side. You just don't want it collapsing in the middle. Maybe gaze up. For 3. For 2, chair is our out, and 1, step it together, chair. Just 1 inhale, 1 exhale, and then open, warrior 1 to the other side. Left foot steps back, right foot is forward, and same setup for the stance. Front foot facing forward, back foot turned in an angle, pressing on that outer edge, pulling that right hip back, you see the slight change, pulling the left hip forward, deep knee bend, and add the arms. Maybe gaze up for 3, sink a little bit lower. 2, listen carefully, circle the arms behind you, plant your hands down just enough to step your foot back or to your knees, and then lower your forearms down for downward facing dog. So we got this modification always available to you in any yoga class. So you're in this modified upside down letter V with your body. Pressing through all 10 fingers. Very difficult to get your heels to the mat, but think about pushing them towards that direction. And then inhale, come forward to a forearm plank. Inhale forward, I need to adjust my feet. And exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward, continue moving in this direction. You those of you that practice yoga know this position is dolphin. There's no reason we can't do it in place of downward facing dog, especially if we deal with wrist issues. Last two. Last one out. We hold in the forearm plank and we lift the left foot, we lift the right foot, we walk it out to build that core. Pressing through your forearms, pressing through all 10 fingers. One more each side. And then we send our hips high, back to that modification, and then drop your knees down, send it into child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes touch. Rest your head on something. So if it can get to the ground, great. If not, stack a hand, maybe two, just so you can really relax to the back of your neck. Maybe big inhale and exhale out the mouth, releasing some of that heat. Or continue with that Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, come up to hands and knees. We'll reset the spine with some cat-cow. Inhale up. Exhale. Round and press everything towards the midline. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. One more like this. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Step that left leg forward. Anjaneyasana. So the back knee is down, the toe is untucked, and then walk your hands up onto your leg. Now maybe you stay here, and that's okay. Or hands can come to your hips. Or reach them up, gaze up, and then send those hips forward. Just warming up through this hip flexor before we go into our warrior two today, because we're gonna move in it. Warrior one, we held static. Warrior two, we're gonna pump. Now, if you have your arms lifted, challenge yourself to use your core and switch legs. So shift back, put the left knee down, right leg forward, and send it low. If you needed to use your hands, no problem. You're doing the best you can with the body you have today. Now for this transition, your challenge is to stand up to the top of the mat. So however you can get there, you can keep your arms up, tuck that toe under in the back, come up to that crescent lunge, and step it together. If that's not in your practice, no worries. Drop those arms, and then inhale them up, overhead, exhale, step back, warrior two. So this time we're open, we're fully open to the side. My front leg finds that deep 90-degree bend. My shoulders are stacked over my hips. My back foot can be turned in slightly or parallel to the back of your space. And then our arms come super active. I'm gonna gaze over my front fingertip. And then here's where we move. We inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up, exhale. Every time we lower, we get a little bit deeper in that front leg because we can. Inhale. And exhale. Straight and strong, even with the arms. And we fall. Next one, careful, listen for the change. We inhale up, we exhale, warrior two, opposite side. So take it just a moment to set it up, same thing. Knee goes forward, back foot parallel, turned in slightly, shoulders right above the hips, deep knee bend, and then add the arms. Gaze out front. Once you have that foundation, we inhale up and exhale lower. Inhale up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, really root to rise, all four corners of your feet. Last one. Inhale up to straighten. Keep those arms up. Turn all 10 toes to face the same direction. I'm just going to scoot back so you can see what my feet are doing. And then with those arms high, fold it forward as flat back as long as you can, and then let it hang heavy towards the earth. Once you get that forward fold and that hang, once again, shake your head yes, shake your head no. And then plant your right hand down, lift your left arm high and find the twist, but be mindful of what your hips do. Could I set a tray of something on the back side of your pelvis? And could it stay steady? So not jacking that hip out to the side, keeping it steady as we find the twist. Maybe even look up towards that top thumb. Keeping your spine long and strong. Then simply drop that top arm and switch it. Plant the left, raise the right. And then once again, instantly my hip wants to jack out to the side. I'm gonna pull it right back in. And then I'll gaze up. And then plant both hands down in front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Hands come to your hips. Using your core, stand up nice and tall, just how we went into it. And then turn your feet out to find a goddess squat. So I need to adjust my stance a little bit and make it a little more narrow. Arms up into our goalpost. Once again, we're gonna move with it. So we're gonna inhale. Exhale, pull. Inhale, super slow. Then even slower on the way down. Fight that gravity for our goddess squat today. There it is. Now I got the footing for my feet where I want them for my knees. Like you're moving through jello. We're gonna go one more time tall, so reach up tall. Then hands behind your head, very gently, not gripping, and then come on down. And we're gonna add the core. So think elbow towards your thigh. It doesn't need to touch. I'd rather have you keep your chest open and find that core strength. If it's too much for your hands behind your head, keep them at heart center. Don't lose the depth of that squat. Can you sink it a tiny bit lower? One more each side. 1 and 2. Stand up tall. Face the front of your space again and step it together. Inhale up. Exhale, hands heart center. We're gonna do one balance series. Ground down through your left foot. Your right foot comes up to stork. Arms once again come high to the sky. Find your balance. Then drop your arms, leg goes back to find this warrior 3 with these airplane arms. So my palms are facing the floor. My back foot is flexed. My hip is turned under. My gaze is straight down. Now stay here or move your arms out in front of you. Reaching strong through your fingertips and that back leg. And we're gonna hold and breathe for 3, 2, stand up tall. 1, stand it up. Once again, hands come back to heart center. Switch over to the right. Ground your right leg down. Left leg comes up to stork. Arms come high. Find the balance. Then shift it back. Think capital T with your body. Strong flex through that back foot. Tucking it in and under. Arms are active and back. Feeling it through the back side of your arms and your triceps, and palms face the floor. Now once again, same option. Stay where you are or reach them out in front. I'm gonna reach all the way to my front wall here. Reach them out strong in front while that back heel reaches back strong. And we breathe for 3, 2, 1. We come to stand, arms come to the side, and we have a seat. So can you sink all the way down without using your hands? Sit it back and we find boat. I'm just gonna move away from my plant a little bit. Stay where you are. I'm gonna scoot back and find boat. Now, boat has a lot of different variations. Heels can be down. You're still working your core. You can walk it out if you're ready for the next level. Or you can hold it, legs bent, legs straight. We're only here one time, so really push yourself. I'm gonna go bent today. My hamstrings aren't loving that straightness in my legs. Can you sit up a tiny bit taller, showing your heart forward a little bit stronger? If your legs are apart, move them together. If they're together, maybe try it apart. Distract your brain for the last 10 seconds here. You got this. Here comes 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Give your lower back a little love before you plant your feet down for a bridge pose today. So on bridge, keep those heels pretty close to your hips. Reach down, maybe your fingertips graze the back of your heels. I have very long arms, so I'm not a good reference for this. If you can't graze your heels, just get them close. Press up for bridge on the inhale. So press through all 4 corners of your feet. On this first one, I'm going to encourage you to plant your hands down and press into the earth. So it turns on your triceps, it works the back of your arms. It allows your hips to go a little bit higher. And then simply watch your belly rise and fall. That's how big I want your breath in this bridge today. Don't forget to press down onto the ground. No need to interlace for working those triceps today. Last 3 breaths. Can you lift a tiny bit higher? That chest chases your chin, the chin runs away. Coming down when you're ready, nice and slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. Then hugging your knees into your chest and simply dropping them to the right as you gaze to the left. Arms can cactus, arms can T. Finding that spinal twist. And then back to the center, then drop your knees to the left, gaze to the right. Then back to the center, give yourself 1 final squeeze, maybe even tuck into a ball, and then let everything go long to find your Shavasana. Don't skip this part. This is where we get to reap all the benefits. This one isn't long, but find yourself into your final resting posture for Shavasana and take up as much space as you need to and let go of the breath control and just let your body soak it all in. Begin to wiggle your fingers. I told you we weren't here long. Circle your ankles. Shift your head side to side, ever so gently. And then roll onto your favorite side before you press on up to a comfortable seat. Thanking yourself for showing up as always. If you press up to a comfortable seat, we'll do 1 last inhale together. Inhale, arms come down, around, up, over the top, pressing those hands right to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me in that yoga flow today. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you thought about not being on your hands so much in yoga and how it felt in your body. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, the site of our awesome intuition. And we'll all bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. I'll see you next week for our workout of the week. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't joined us over on Time Out for Moms on Facebook, the group is Time Out for Moms, Wellness, Accountability, and Support. And that's exactly what it is. We hold each other accountable. I lead weekly workouts and meditations, recipe exchanges, and awesome monthly challenges to keep you motivated to where you need to be as a busy mom. Go have a great week.